to have the ability to run 50-minute practices in the other divisions are important because they don't. Most of the teams don't have the tools. And you mentioned it before, Steve. You said, if you brought the engineering into those series, we're going to start having problems. Well, we are. Yeah. We are starting to have problems.
I agreed.
Right?
Yeah,
because and there's two things.
You're not seeing a lot of new winners.
No, there's two things that you mentioned that like perked me up a little bit. It's that you're seeing the teams that have all the engineering are really fast, and both the Truck and O'Reilly series, and then we are seeing a problem in the Truck series with the inspection process and the rule changes and the stuff. It's going to be a problem. I see it. I've been a part of it now for about a month because Luke's involved in it. I've been standing back and watching, and I'm like, we're getting into the same problem that we got into the Cup. We're changing rules late. We're costing teams money. We're going to put teams out of business. And I understand you guys will try, hopefully working on a new model, which is going to be difficult for those guys. I mean, those guys don't have the money level that the Cup owners have. So there's going to have to be a compromise somewhere, I feel. But having the practice and having the guys, so we failed. The Riom team Truck fails twice in the last 2 weeks, right? So Luke loses 10 minutes of practice. Why should a driver? What's the penalty? You got guys that are just working every day, just trying to get to the racetrack, and now my kid that has no experience, right? It could be any kid.
Has even less time. Yeah.
Now has less time. So it's like you're not helping the program. You're not helping the show. So. It's important for these kids to get time, seat time, that 50 minutes. It's important for the teams to make changes because they have. That's the only way they can build their book, right? The notebook. It's the only way they can do things. They don't have the simulation. 75% of the teams don't have the simulation. They don't have the tools. They don't have the things that they need to do to be successful. So that's why I'm guessing that you guys get to do that and we don't have to do that.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Truck race. There was a ton of Cup drivers.
There was
race.
a ton of Cup drivers.
Ton of
in the
Cup
Cup.
drivers.
And that's good.
How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
I think we went too far for a while trying to get, and now it feels like a good balance. So
I like it.
I think
I
you
like
only get better having to race against people.
Yeah,
like
and
that,
unless the Cup drivers spin people out. Yeah.
well, he's not a Cup driver anymore.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, I think it's great for the Cup drivers because that's who you compare yourself against. I remember when Bubba was running the KBM truck, like we were just comparing ourselves to Kyle every week. Whatever Kyle did, if we could beat him any week, whether it was winning the race or not, like we did something because we beat Kyle in the same equipment that week. I think that's what a good bench to measure these guys at. And I think that you see when they're running the O'Reilly series or the Truck series, it helps kind of close that gap to when those guys make the leap to Sunday. And they realize, like we talked about here before, Jesse Love was like, I'm going to go into Bristol and run top 10 my first Cup start. And he got out there.